It's so suspicious for Suki to be like, come with me for a sec. I'm like,
agree.
what is he planning? What's his aim?
From like a storytelling perspective, and writing, that was one of my favorite episodes of Haikyuu ever, I think. Like, from storytelling and writing, easily by far one of my favorite episodes of Haikyuu. I'm so glad that they have Hinata. You perfectly set it up in the intro of like wanting this to feel deserved and not handed to him. Mm-hmm. I don't think they could have done a better job writing to make us feel like he deserves this progress more than he ever has before.
And what is he doing? Like he always does. He's creating this energy of want. Everyone around him always wants to try their best.
Yep.
And even Suki, I think when he says like, oh, I hate this, it's because he knows that once Hinata's around, it almost like takes over this energy and desire to play and to do your best. And obviously Suki wants to avoid that because unnecessary work and care are his enemy.
Like the motivation.
Yeah, but everyone feels it. Like, Kendaichi's feeling it. Goshiki's feeling it. They're all feeling it. Probably not the other, I don't remember his name, the other Alba Josai first year, the one that likes to stick out his tongue, like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's feeling it, but...
No, you're right, though. What would you say? Like, infectious?
Yes, infectious. And, like, think about how quickly Hinata has swayed the other ball boys. The other, like, first-year Shiri Torizawa guys that are being the ball boys. Like, that thumbs up. Oh. I was like, dude, they look up to you already.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like he's the upperclassman.
It's great. I agree with you completely. I love that he has that about him. You know, like, it definitely relates to, like, a real-life sense of if you surround yourself with good, healthy, productive people, that tendency rubs off, you know? That energy makes you want to be productive and good and healthy.
I think that's why Karasuno was able to make it back and start heading towards the top again as a powerhouse school, is because they have certain members of their team that have that energy of wanting to try no matter what. And but it's a positive energy. I feel like some people might have that I want to try no matter what energy, and it could be intense and maybe not super positive and uplifting feeling for everyone else around them.
Like the king of the court.
Right. But when you use the word motivational, I think that was the correct word. Like this, they all have this infectious energy. Hinata totally has it.
I agree.
I mean, even that, like, I think it's really interesting that the other coach, I guess he's the assistant coach or something for Shiri Torizawa, not only, I think they said in episode 1 that he recommended that Hinata be invited. And then we had, I think it was this episode that he was talking about noticing the changes already.
Yeah. And then he even, like, had an inner monologue of, like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, because he was, like, said his brain was empty or something. He's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. It's probably not empty.
But through that, we got the confirmation of, like, Hinata thinking, you know? Like, he really is. One of the big things for me, like, we had a line from him saying that he normally only focuses on the ball. I loved the idea.
When he's watching, like, a game.
Yeah, and I think that that's a great contrast to my absolute favorite moment of the episode, which was him leaving the facility and talking about his hunger and calling Coach Ukai. And I understand how some people could just like think of the humor behind that scene, nothing more. But I absolutely love that on an emotional level.
There was a sweetness to it.
It was sweet, but it was like a serious step because there's such a contrast to just looking at a ball during the game to not only thinking about in the game of volleyball how to improve yourself and what other people are doing. You're thinking about how to improve yourself in every aspect of life. Your diet, to sleep, to...
I mean, that's a huge part of athletics.
Yeah.
Is getting sleep and proper nutrition.
Yeah, it is. And it was a great moment. I really enjoyed that moment of the episode.
I mean, it was a great moment to Coach Ukai, too. I mean, you saw his face. Like, that is the face of a teacher or a coach when they first feel like they've really been appreciated and or listened to by someone that they have taught.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was an emotional
What did
moment.
you say? You said something on the terms of like this show really makes you feel like you want like
it shows the reward.
Yeah, of being a teacher.
Of being a teacher or a coach.
I completely agree with you. That's a really good point. I will say, it could be me. I'm open to you calling me out and saying it's me right now. I was a little bit taken out of this episode of points because I felt like the animation wasn't good sometimes. I could be very wrong, and that's on me, but I felt a little taken out of a couple moments of this episode. Whenever there was really movement, it wasn't any of the serious moments. There was something interesting or different about it from what I have come to expect from the earlier seasons. Like, I don't know any specific timestamps or whatever. In Kageyama's little section, I felt it maybe to a small degree. Like, this was fine. His smirk
and his
great.
Hair flowing as he's falling back down.
Great. But, like, I don't know. It seemed like it was, like, less detail, and the shots were just, I don't know. This is, granted, the peak of my, like, here, I thought that was a little weird. I don't know. I could be totally wrong and out of it, but there was just, something that took me a little out of it several times. Like, there was no detail in the shot.
I've definitely noticed differences in terms of drawing the characters, and even when they're further away, the detail that's involved.
Yeah.
It's clear that there are certain shots that extra detail is truly given to.
Yeah.
But then there are definitely shots where it's not.
For sure. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in anime, because that happens, that like, that's how budgets end up working out. But I guess like, it was something I didn't necessarily notice in past seasons of Haikyuu. Like, obviously I knew when the budget and animation went crazy, but I never was like, oh, the animation's taking me a little bit out of it. And there were only a couple times, but it was definitely apparent a couple times to me. I could just be totally talking out of my butt, though. But, like I said, the story itself and the writing, one of my favorite episodes of Haikyuu ever. It was great for me.
In terms of, like, editing and how they sequenced stuff, my favorite moment in this episode was when Hinata was behind that one player, and it was showing like his feet and the other guy's feet, but then like, and it was like these cuts, and I found that to be really satisfying.
I agree with you.
Kind of sequence of animation.
Did you like going off of that, they also had the shot with when they were putting their uniforms, like Hinata was too?
Yeah, I loved that.
I think those were really great. I completely agree with you on that.
They're definitely drawn slightly differently, and I can't put my finger on why the facial expression. Suki kind of looks the same, and Ushijima kind of looks the same, but there's something about Hinata that looks a little different to me.
It's only in some shots to me that it's like at all something to notice. I don't know. Maybe it's just...
Are their noses in a different place in the side profile?
I'm not really sure. Like, I thought this is an interest, like I don't know. This the shot of
Inoshita.
Yeah, Inoshita. I thought was like a little out there. It's not like awful. It's not like early Dragon Ball Super or anything close to it. It was just something that caught me off guard a little bit from what I'm used to in the show.
Well, this episode truly was just about how. I mean, I think Hinata summed it up perfectly. That this episode was about information.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, and that was the true focus of this episode. So
yeah,
like they're in a tournament currently, and there's these big, awesome action shot moments that deserve that detail.
Very, very good point, and very, very true. Because I would rather them save their budget and animation for those shots where they are in a tournament, like you said. And they, if it was something or wasn't. None of the moments that I felt like were trying to be serious were animated bad at all. I thought that it looked great, like, in those moments, and they really affected me. Like, I was really loving them. I love the show, honestly, man.
What did you think about, at the end there, Kageyama, his reflex to feel like Hinata's in the game with him?
That's definitely the takeaway I felt, too, right? But, with, like, sorry, force of habit. But... it's interesting because it's something that he'll have to unlearn a little bit.
I expected more of an internal moment of him being, how could I do that? That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised to not see. But the faces the other players are making at him when he does that is super interesting.
I agree with you.
Interesting is such a bad word to use, and I apologize for when I use it because it's really not descriptive at all, and it can be way overused. But sometimes that's just like the first perfect word that comes to mind.
Yeah, I totally feel you. I don't know. It depends on the sentence that you use it in, right?
I'm just so like trained from like writing papers that you need to avoid that word at all cost.
I'm curious to see more of Kageyama and where that leads with him.
Maybe this was setting up for next episode to be more focused on him and what he's doing.
I would be okay with that because I'm glad that we've had more Hinata-centric because it feels like that growth he's making is more deserved because of it.
Is this other guy, is he on Fukurodani?
Who?
This guy that's on the screen right now.
White hair?
Yeah. He's in a blue shirt, and that's one of their colors, like that kind of really bright royal cobalty blue.
Perhaps.
And he has an owl kind of like Bokudo. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder if he is on Fukurodani, but then like why would we not have met him beforehand?
Good question. I mean, these are, I wouldn't think it's from Fukurodani because like it seems like everybody else we've met is from a different team within the National Youth Intensive Training Camp.
I was just suspicious because of his color palette and then his animal-esque features.
Yeah, I get you. In regards to Ushijima, I would love to live inside that man's mind for one day.
Oh, when he smiled there, him and Tendo's friendship, maybe that's the best friendship in this show.
Yeah, it's up there, and I love Ushijima's just like opinion of Kageyama and Hinata like being people like monsters
humans.
Yeah, and then Tendo's like, well, you could be a monster too.
Okay, what are the friendships? Okay, that are like we
have
Kenma Kuro. I was thinking Asahi and Nishimiya because they have such an bad word. Their dynamic in the first season was really great with the fact that neither of them were in the club at the beginning because of that kind of fallout that they had. Mm-hmm. And then Suki and Yamaguchi, Kageyama, Hinata,
Kyoko, and Tanaka a little bit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Honestly,
but Tendo and Ushijima might be the best.
I really love it. I love their relationship so much.
That might be the best dynamic.
If we redid the tier list already, I'd put them up tiers like
honestly,
higher.
I would probably change a few people after just three episodes of the show. Maybe not dramatically changed, but slight.
I have to say, I'm really enjoying Hinata's character. I like a lot. I'm very glad with the developments he made in this episode.
So he can stay at S+.
Yeah, maybe a little higher. I don't know. I'm excited. It does make me very curious as to what Kageyama's going to do to make it so Hinata's not even a step further ahead, you know?
What is his progress supposed to be? There was a lot that Hinata needs to learn or needs to practice, but what is it that Kageyama's missing?
I don't think we know because we don't know enough about volleyball.
I don't think we've heard a character even necessarily say what Kageyama was missing.
Maybe just natural versatility like Oikawa has, like with... Like, he can be anybody's
Oikawa's the
setter.
perfect example.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was probably the only time we've ever been highlighted about Kageyama's shortcomings.
Yeah.
Was that that's the one time Kageyama even admitted what he wished he could have.
Yep. So I think maybe in that direction.
That'd be nice.
Maybe get some, like, fashion choices from him, too. You know, Oikawa has a lot to offer people. All right, I'm good, yo. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
Like, think about how quickly Hinata has swayed the other ball boys. Hinata has swayed the other ball boys.
Hinata has swayed the other ball boys.